Hi there, my name is David McLeod. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you felt called to do something, but you held yourself back out of some fear that you were going to hurt someone? Sure, I'll bet you have. Most people don't like to get hurt, and most people don't like to hurt others. So it just kind of makes sense that you'd probably go out of your way to avoid hurting someone else, right? The problem is, when you do this enough times, you are bound to experience the case where you actually wind up hurting yourself because you're not doing what you've been called to do. In other words, you caretake for others at the expense of your own well-being. But there's a subtle little detail here that you might have missed. Remember, the only reason you held yourself back in the first place was out of a sense of fear that you might hurt someone. In other words, it was merely a risk. There was no certainty, there was no guarantee that anyone would get hurt because of your choice. How many times do you avoid doing what feels right because you're afraid of an outcome that may never come to pass? I know that I've done this a lot of times in my life. In my case, it's almost always come down to a fear of what people will think of me, of how they'll judge me. And this, in turn, plays into my basic low-level shadow belief that I am not good enough. But you know, damage only seems to happen when people do things out of some ego need. It's my experience that when people are inspired into action by their heart and soul, the chances of someone getting hurt are almost nil. Remember, the ego mind is motivated by fear, which is why it is always trying to keep you safe. But the heart and soul are motivated by love, and love is a healing energy that's incapable of causing damage. So, when there is something you are called to do and you're worried about the possibility of hurting someone, all you really need to do is ask yourself a simple question. Is this coming from my heart, or is it coming from my ego? Or to put it a little differently, am I motivated by love, or am I motivated by fear? If you are truly coming from your heart, if you're truly motivated by love, then there's no danger. And you can proceed confidently with whatever it is you are called to do without asking for permission from anyone. Lead with your heart, and let your ego mind enjoy a well-earned long-term vacation. Have a great day.